Hello, my name is Mike Mulhern and I'm a Relationship Manager at City International Personal Bank. I'd like to talk to you about structured note investment products, what they are and how they work. Structured notes are complex investments which combine growth potential or income with the ability to protect your initial investment. Here's how they work. Some structured notes combine a low-risk bond to offer principal protection with a high-risk investment to earn a return. It is important to note that other structured notes do not offer principal protection. You should carefully check the product documentation which will make this clear. Here is an example of a principal protected structured note. Most of the investment amount is placed in the low risk bond, which on maturity will provide principal protection. A small proportion is placed in an underlying asset on which the product's return is intended to replicate. This underlying asset component could be comprised of individual equities or bonds, equity or bond market indices or baskets, currencies, commodities, interest rates, or any combination of these. It is this part of the investment which earns a return above and beyond the principal amount. Structured notes allows investors to take advantage of market conditions and gain measured exposure to the underlying riskier asset to earn a potential return while providing principal protection. They enable investors to participate in investment opportunities which they may be unable or unwilling to invest in directly because of the risk involved. Structured notes are developed based on research of market conditions and are offered by a number of financial institutions. These companies are known as the issuer. When you purchase a structured note, you're investing with the issuer and accept the risk that if they fail and are unable to pay the investment back, you could lose your entire investment. Let's now look at how structured notes work. It is important to note that the returns in this presentation are for illustrative purposes only. Structured notes are created to take advantage of current market conditions, and so the potential returns could be more or less than the example given. Let's look at a 100% principal protected structured note with a 1-year term linked to the price of gold. This note also has a 100% participation feature with a fixed return of 7% if the price of gold rises above 40%. Taking this as our example, we can now go through the various outcomes. If the price of gold went up at the end of the term by say 20%, you would receive your principal plus 20% of the entire investment. The 100% participation feature of the structured note means that you would receive 100% of any increase in the underlying investment. Another outcome could see the price of gold rising above 40% by the end of the year. Because it rose above the barrier level, which in this case is 40%, the structured note would return the principal plus the fixed return coupon of 7%. A coupon is the name given for return on a structured note. Structured notes either pay the return on maturity or can involve periodic coupon payments, either quarterly, semi-annually or annually. Finally, if the price of gold didn't go up or went down at the end of the 1-year term, you would receive your principal back in full, but no coupon payment. While you would receive your principal back, investors should remember that, due to inflation, $1 in a year's time may be worth less than $1 today. Another common aspect of structured notes is that they are callable, meaning that the investment can be called back by the issuer if certain criteria are met before the maturity date. Using gold again as our example, the issuer could include a feature where, if the price of gold rose above 200%, they could call back the investment early and pay the principal plus a return. There's a lot to consider here, but each structured note has a prospectus which outlines all the details you will need to know. As you can see, structured notes are offered in a multitude of formats to suit different investment objectives. They are available linked to a variety of underlying assets, in differing term lengths, which can vary between 6 months and 6 years, and in a number of currencies. However, the underlying design of a structured note remains the same. They combine a lower risk investment to offer principal protection with a higher risk investment linked to market movements to earn a return. It is important to stress that the principal is only protected when the note is held to maturity. You should be willing to hold the investment for the whole term, as you could lose all or part of your principal if you withdraw the investment early. So to recap, structured notes can offer exposure to an underlying asset without direct investment in them, principal protection provided you hold them till maturity, the potential for a higher return than a standard deposit, and finally it also provides a means of achieving a diversified portfolio. However, you also need to consider that if the issuer of the structured note becomes insolvent, you may not get back any of your initial investment, and you must have a minimum of €50,000 or your currency equivalent to invest. Last year, City International Personal Bank was one of the largest distributors of structured notes for Citibank in the region. Relationship managers, such as myself, can provide you with personalised one-to-one investment service based on our market knowledge and your financial objectives. A full suitability assessment is done with all our clients to ensure investments meet their needs. To find out more, please contact your relationship manager at City International Personal Bank.